'cause I can't stop time. You keep boring.
I've been getting a couple messages and a couple of people asking me what my take is on the whole entire Physiques of Greatness beef, right, between Vince and Chris. And for those who don't know, they actually gave me a shout out a while back, because I gave them a shout out a while back before their channel was even big. Before anybody knew who Physiques of Greatness was, I knew who Chris and Vince was, because Vince and Chris reached out to me because they saw my YouTube channel. So a little bit of background there. Basically, I knew them for a while. I've met them before at the expo. Really good people. Both of them are really nice. So what do I think of the whole entire beef? I think it's one of those things where business don't need to be displayed in front or in public, right? I think where it got mishandled was Vince throwing Chris under the bus. That's an extremely unprofessional thing to do, especially for business partners. It's one of those things where you don't do that as a business partner. You don't throw your other people's name out there just because you disagree with them. You just don't do that. It's one of those things. It's understandable that Vince is frustrated. It's understandable why Vince can get mad, but it shouldn't be his place or his time to say that stuff, to say what he said and how he talked about Chris's personal stuff and how he mentioned his and Chris' relationship in front of the camera in public. Because if you guys watch Chris's first response video just to the whole entire Physiques of Greatness thing, Chris didn't mention anything about dissing Vince. From the way it looks, from our point of view, from my point of view, from watching all the whole entire video, Chris always shows respect to Vince, no matter what, right? Even if Vince failed to cut, even if Vince failed to go and upload videos, Chris was still grinding. Chris was still paying him his money, and I think that's where it got a little mishandled, and I think that's where it got mixed up, which created this whole entire beef. So I mean, it's one of those things where it's always hard to be business partners with your friends, because friendships can be lost when you start messing with people's money. Because that's one of those things, you just don't touch people's money, and in this case, you don't disrespect somebody who is still taking care of you when you're at your hardest time, right? I mean, I don't know what Vince was going through. I don't know anything about Vince in that way, and I'm not gonna say I know him that way. But from the way it sounds was, from Chris's point of view, I mean, he was still giving Vince money, even though Vince wasn't putting the work and hustle that Chris was putting to POG. But I know it's unfortunate, because those two guys, I'm sure they're pretty good friends with each other. But once something like that happens, it's hard to recover, because I mean, you don't disrespect the man in front of the public and get away with it, because that's just never cool. But you know, I think Chris is right in this whole entire feud, because he never threw Vince under the bus at all. He just kept doing his own thing, and I think Vince was wrong in this case, because he mentioned Chris and he shed that negative light and negative point of view on Chris, which was unfair, because that's something he could have said to Chris personally instead of publicly online. But that's my take on it. You know, I think both are great guys. So I've met them both. So one tip I could give you guys out there, if you guys do watch POG and you see Vince put out videos, don't dislike the video. I mean, listen to the man. I think it's not fair for a lot of people to make fun of him because he doesn't put out videos. But when he puts out videos, you guys, the general population, just tend to dislike it. That's kind of giving him mixed feelings about things. Yeah, that's all I think about it, so I'm not gonna go too long on it. Thank you guys for watching, and subscribe if you haven't. What do you guys think? Comment below. I really want to hear what you guys think. Do you guys, Chris was right? Vince was right? Do you guys enjoy POG? Let's see it.